so much stuff everywhere telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and I believed a lot of it when I first started my fitness transformation. It's very hard when you're desperate. You want to believe that everything that is being told to you by the experts is rooted in some kind of truth. Many times it's not until you actually experiment with different methods that you find out that that is not entirely the case. So through the years, I have collected a lot of it. I have tried a ton of different styles of eating. I have tried different ways just to make sure that I can always speak from my own experience and not just from something I read in a book somewhere. So I would like to share with you my 5 most favorite myths regarding nutrition. Number 5, it's necessary to detox before you begin a weight loss program. The whole concept of detoxing comes from removing the toxins from your blood, from your body, from your system, and priming everything to work properly, so when you do start to develop better habits, things can run a little more smoothly. However, this kind of starts people off on the wrong foot. It starts you off in a mode of deprivation. It starts you off feeling like this might not be entirely as easy as you thought it was, which can be extremely discouraging if you've tried to lose weight in the past. Detoxifying your body happens gradually. You can begin to detoxify your body simply by incorporating more fibrous vegetables into your diet. Cut down on things like sugars, eliminate sodas, remove certain foods slowly as long as you replace them with different options. So, for example, I would recommend right away that you're removing non-diet soda. Making it a point to take in more water can make a huge difference. It is not necessary to do a cleanse before you commit to getting healthier. It's only going to piss you off and make you hungry. Why are you going to do that to yourself? Number 4, eggs are bad for your cholesterol. There are things that have been coming out lately that disprove this theory of eggs having anything to do with raising your cholesterol. Now, unless you are eating about 20 whole eggs a day, you need that yolk. If you're consuming just egg whites in the morning and you're still hungry, try throwing in a yolk. It'll definitely make a world of a difference. Also, the yolk is packed, jam-packed with nutrients, especially CLA, which is a fat that has actually been shown to reduce fat in your abdomen. Number 3, you must eat low carb to lose weight. Now, this is one of the most misconstrued concepts in the entire nutrition industry, fitness world. Low carb has a place. Keep in mind, fruits and vegetables are still carbohydrates. Many times I do meet people who say they eat low carb and then they tell me about how much fruit they eat each day. If you're eating low carbohydrate in order to lose weight and you haven't lost any weight and it's been quite a while, you might want to try incorporating some carbohydrates around your workout times. Now, if you're not working out consistently and you've been prescribed a low carbohydrate diet by a doctor or a physician, could be because the effect that it is having on your insulin or your blood sugar could be interfering with some medication that you've been prescribed. If that's the case, make sure that you're on the same page with your doctor about what exactly it means to eat low carbohydrate. Low carb is different for everybody. Point is, we want to fuel our body to be able to handle the work that we're making it do. So if you're in the gym consistently, if you're consistently lifting weights and you're not taking in carbohydrates, there could be issues with recovery, there could be issues with repairing that muscle tissue, there could be issues with just accumulating enough glycogen to be able to push through the next workout. You want to make sure your focus is on fueling your workouts. And since carbohydrates are our primary source of fuel, you want to make sure you have enough of them. Eliminating carbs for a very short period of time can have tremendous effects on your body's composition, but the key here being short periods of time. I'll do a video about carb cycling. the benefits of it and the cons. But if you're just eliminating carbohydrates because you heard a friend of a friend of a friend say that they lost a lot of weight doing it, you might want to also put these things back into context. Is that person actually feeling good? Did that person actually sustain that weight loss? You want to ask these types of questions and not just fall in line with what other people are doing or with what other people are saying has worked for them. Which kind of brings me to my next one, number 2, which I had heard somebody say recently and it boiled my blood. He was promoting a product, and the main idea of the product was to put people on a low carbohydrate diet, and he said because it causes your body to produce ketones, which then makes your body burn fat for energy. Here's the thing about ketones. Ketones are what the body produces when you've had a very low to almost no carbohydrate consumption for quite a while. Eating low carb is not just going to force your body to produce ketones. This happens when your fat consumption is even greater than even your protein consumption and your carbs stay extremely low. If you're not monitoring a low protein consumption, your body is then going to turn to protein to convert that into a fuel source. Ketones cannot be made until your body is burning fat for energy, which can be a very drawn out process called ketosis. A ketogenic diet has been extremely effective for people suffering from epilepsy. It causes the brain to use fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. Again, this is not just something that happens from eating low carb. You also have to be pretty low protein, and you have to maintain a very high percentage of fats in your diet on a very consistent basis. It can be tested by purchasing a kit at your local pharmacy, which will actually tell you if your body is producing ketones. Again, this is not something that just happens from eating a low carbohydrate diet. Number 1, eating 5 to 6 small meals a day will boost your metabolism. I get it. I can see where this came from. This became a complete phenomenon within the past couple of years, I would say, where it became more mainstream that people thought, okay, I gotta eat 5 to 6 small meals a day if I want to lose weight. When I was a competitor, I used to time my alarm clock on my phone every 2.5 to 3 hours, and I would watch that clock like a hawk, waiting for my next meal. Because me personally, I constantly felt hungry. I was constantly thinking about food. I felt like I lived in the kitchen preparing my meals, and I hated it. I didn't feel good. It was not until I had found intermittent fasting and the concept of fitting your macros in for the day that I actually felt so much more freedom around food and around my food prep. To my surprise, I found the results to be much better because I was also psychologically disconnected from food, which tends to be a very important yet very overlooked concept when you're trying to transform your body. You need to do what you can in order for the process to be peaceful. So if you have an obsessive personality and you find that you're watching that clock like a hawk every 2 meals because you're terrified of losing all your muscle mass or losing all your results, then I encourage you to try a different way. Now, I do have some clients who swear by the 5 to 6 meals a day simply because most of the clients that I do work with are under eating for their body and for their goals. Now, when you're trying to get in a lot more food than you're used to, it's easier to split them up into smaller meals. Most people will say that it's easier to try and fit in an extra mid-morning meal or an extra meal right before bed. But if you prefer adding more calories onto each meal, then go ahead. If you like having a larger breakfast and you know that your digestive system isn't going to crash after you eat it, go ahead and do that. As long as by the end of the day you're getting to your appropriate calorie, your goal calorie count, your goal macros for the day, I promise you, you're not going to lose your gains just because you haven't eaten every 2 hours. So I could go on and on about nutrition myths. I think I'll make an installment number 2 There are many of them out there. If there are any topics that you want me to specifically address, comment them down below, like this video, share this with your peeps. I want to put out good information for you, so please help me to continue crafting my content, making this channel better and better. It is my goal to lift the veil off a lot of the bullshit that's out there about nutrition. It surprises me. It surprises me what's out there. I'm part of a networking group where every once in a while they invite health coaches, and some of the knowledge that these health coaches have is just wow. Please help me spread the word. It's only gonna help more people get the word out about what's really up. Thank you so much for watching my channel.